Mr. Trump has overturned decades of American policy by saying it's time for Washington to recognize Israeli sovereignty over the occupied Golan Heights. It captured them from Syria in 1967. Speaking in Jerusalem, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said President Trump had made history. A senior Palestinian official, Saeb Erekat, said the policy change was a recipe for conflict between Palestinians and Israelis. All this ahead of a general election in Israel, just coming up next month. Speaking now to Joshua Landis, he's director of the Center for Middle East Studies at the University of Oklahoma, author also of the Syria comment blog. Joshua, good to talk to you. Mr. Trump and Mr. Netanyahu clearly have a personal bond, but this looks like an electoral gift to Mr. Netanyahu. Can Mr. Trump do this, first of all, even though the UN has designated this land as occupied?
He can do it. This is American foreign policy. And as he said, it's America first, and America can defy the international community on this, even though it will, of course, damage the United States as an upholder of the liberal international order. And our allies will look at the United States with distrust. But he can do it. And in a sense, he defies Congress to try to undo it. But Congress will not, is unlikely to do that. This is quite popular amongst voters and in the election campaign. So he's not only doing Netanyahu a favor in his upcoming elections, he's doing himself a favor and the Republican Party a favor.
Doing himself a favor, too, I think, because he's very keen, isn't he, at the moment, particularly to paint the Democrats as anti-Semitic, anti-Israel.
Absolutely. And it's, you know, the same struggle that's going on in Britain is going on in the United States. And Ilhan Omar, a new congresswoman, made a number of remarks that have been, and she's been accused of being anti-Semitic. And this caused a great brouhaha within the Democratic Party, which was unable to censor her in the way it wanted to, because there were disagreements over Israel's actions. And that has, President Trump is clearly trying to take advantage of that.
There wasn't much peace process to speak of course, anyway, but the principle behind whatever process there was always giving up land for peace, wasn't it? That seems to be entirely gone.
It does seem to be gone. And that has been the principle since 1967, the Resolution 242 of the UN, which was land for peace. But today, the United States is not backing a land for peace proposal. President Trump said, whatever solution the two parties come up with, the United States will accept. That's a big departure for land from peace.
Just very briefly, Joshua, if you don't mind, Mr. Netanyahu, if he survives the corruption charges and the election, will be very dependent on ultra-right-wingers in his next coalition. They're very keen to annex the West Bank as well. This will encourage them.
Yes, it will. And this is unfortunately where Israel is moving, is towards increasing, taking more and more land and leaving less and less for the Palestinians.
Joshua Landis, interesting to talk to you. Thank you very much.
Pleasure.